Hey guys, in this video we are going to build this nice navigation menu. It's fully responsive and it's got some nice features like normal drop-down menus. You can see that we use a little animation here when we hover over the element. And we also have a mega menu that spans all across the container of the page. Okay, if we resize it, it's responsive. We have a nice responsive mobile menu. Okay, so we will build this together from scratch, and hopefully by the end you will learn something useful from it. Okay, so let's get started. So I have my code editor opened here. So let's create some files. We need an index.html file. Let's just add some HTML structure. Let's add the title. Okay, we need a CSS file. So let's create a new one. And we will also need a JavaScript file for the navigation menu. Okay, so let's link the style sheet. And also let's add the JavaScript file to the bottom. Okay, and here we need one more thing. We need to pull in the font awesome link. So let's just open this with live server first. And from here, let's just copy the link tag and let's paste it here. First, let's create the markup. Okay, we can close this. We don't need this anymore. And now let's create the markup. So we have a header with a class of header. Then we create container for our navigation. Also, let's make it a navigation. Okay, so on the left we have our logo. For now, we'll just use the text. Okay, then we add the right part of the menu. This will contain the menu items, which will be just a simple unordered list. Let me just close this panel so we can see more. Let's just copy this down a few times. Okay, this is going to be the mega menu, and we add an additional class here. Okay, for now I'm not going to add any more items underneath this. We'll come back to the mega menu because I want to also create a single drop-down menu, and I want to do that first. Okay, let's call this blog. Let's call this services, and this one contact. And for the services, we add another class called Dropdown, and here we make some more rooms, and underneath the link tag, the A tag, we add another unordered list, or rather we just add a wrapper for the drop-down menu. Okay, so this is going to be our drop-down menu. So these are going to be our drop-down menu items. So I'll just copy down a few times. I just make some room here. So as I said, we'll come back to the mega menu markup later. Okay, so we'll need to add one more thing here under the unordered list, and this is the mobile menu icon, which is just going to be an A tag with an ID and here we just add the font awesome icon. Okay, so this markup will be the navigation menu for our desktop. So let's just add a comment. Desktop menu, and for simplicity's sake we'll just create a separate markup for the mobile menu, and we need to place this underneath this div, and we'll just need to change a few things here. We need to add an ID, and it's going to be mobile menu, and instead of header right we'll add mobile menu. We don't need a class for the unordered list here. This is okay. This is okay here again. Menu item drop down, okay, and we won't need this here. Okay, and one more thing we need to do is just we add a dummy section so we can see our navigation menu a little bit better. Okay, and we are ready to go to our styles.css. As I said, we'll come back later here and add a few things that I left out for now, but we can now start working on the design. So let's go to style.css. Let's add some resets. To the body, I'll just add a basic font. And so here first we have the header. First let's add a border bottom, 3 pixel solid. Let's have background color white. Let's add the min height 68 pixel, and here we set the display to flex. Okay, so after the header we have the header row. Okay, we set this also to flex. We align it to the center, and we justify the content, and we use space between, and we set the width to 100% and the position to relative. Okay, so now the left side and the right side is separated because we use the space between. But don't worry about the mobile menu. It will not be displayed when we are on the desktop or we are on a large screen size. Okay, let's add some style to the mobile menu icon. Okay, so we have the mobile icon here. Let's add some style to the hero section. And also let's add the gradient. Let's add some padding. And let's set the min height to 80 VH. set the color to white. Display flex. Yeah, this should be justify content, not text align. Okay, so we use the container class here and here. So this basically will hold all our content on the web page. So we need to add some styles to this. Okay, so we will follow a mobile first approach, and basically everything here relates to the smallest screen size, and then we'll add some media queries as we go up. Okay, so this margin right and margin left will apply to all screen size, but we need to set a max width for this container. And this will be different for each screen sizes. So I will just paste it here. Okay, so up to 36 EM, the container will be 540 pixel, and then from 36 EM to 48, 440, then 720, and so on and so on. Okay, I will add another class called hidden. And this will be display none. Okay, we'll use this in a few places. Okay, so now we are ready to start styling the mobile menu. Okay, so first let's resize our window a little bit. Okay, so now we have both the desktop and the mobile menu displayed here, and it's kind of annoying here. So we created this hidden class. So for now, let's go back to the desktop menu, and here let's add this class temporarily so we don't see it. We can even close it here. Okay, so let's go back. Let's just add a comment. Okay, so here we need to target this class here. Do we have a header? Yeah, we have a header row here, and mobile menu. And this is going to be position absolute. I made a typo here in the class name. Okay, we set the left to 0 with 100% and border top 3 pixel solid. Okay, actually let's change this to white. Yes, and let's add padding, and let's add some box shadow. Okay, this is much better. Let's get rid of those bullets. Let's add some space between the menu items. Okay, and let's add some hover style. Okay, let's take care of these menu items. We'll need this, so let's just copy it, paste it, and we need to target the links. We don't need text decoration. And this will be displayed as block. Okay, it looks nice. Okay, next we need to take care of this drop-down menu here. Okay, so by default I don't want to see the sub menu items here. So let's change that. Let's just add the command single drop down menu style for mobile view. Okay, let's borrow this class again. Okay, so this menu item has an additional class of dropdown, so we can target that, and we'll make this position relative. Let's copy this, let's paste it, and we need to target the div underneath this class, which is the submenu wrapper. Okay, and this is, so we don't want to display this by default, so we set it to display none. So now we just need to make sure that when this menu item is hovered, then the items underneath will display. Okay, so let's copy this one, and we should target, so we should add a hover effect when this list item is hovered. So when this list item is hovered, so we need to add the hover here, and then we set it to display block, and if we hover over, now these are displayed. Let's add some styles to these menu items. And here just let's decrease the font weight to 400 and add some more padding left. Okay, and now it looks much better. So we're almost done with the mobile menu, more or less, but we still need to take care of this mega menu. So on the desktop, the mega menu will be displayed in 4 columns, but here on the mobile view, I want to display it in 2 columns. So first, let's go back to the HTML file, and in the mobile version, let's add the markup for the mega menu. And this is here. Okay, and we need to add the markup here under the A tag. So here we add a new div that will hold the entire menu here. And here we add 4 divs for the columns. Let's just create one and then we'll just copy everything. Okay, so here we need a title for the column. Let's call this menu block 1. Then we need an unordered list. Okay, let's just copy it down a few times. And basically that's it. So we just copy this and paste it 3 more times. Okay, this is going to be 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's it for the markup. Let's go back to the styles. Let's add a comment. And we need this. And we set this to position relative. Okay, so we basically are doing the same like with the single drop-down menu. Okay, so just like here, we need to tell it what to do when we hover over this mega menu item. Okay, so right now it's not displayed, so we need to change the display. And we'll change the display to grid. Okay, using the grid we can easily create the 2-column layout. Okay, so it's working. Now we need to take care of the columns, and here we can just use the grid template columns, and we say 1 FR, 1 FR, and now they are in 2 columns. We just need to add a little padding, and now it looks much better. Okay, so now we just need to add a few more things to make it look a little bit better. So it's just change this text and maybe add some space between the block title and the items. So let's do that. Okay, I need to target the column. And add margin button. Okay, so they are a little bit more separated. Let's style this text. Okay, and we change the font weight here, so the submenu items should look the same. So okay, so now it's much better. Okay, so basically we are done with the mobile menu. We'll take care of a few things later, like the icon. Let's go back to the desktop view. Okay, so right now the desktop menu isn't displayed because we added the hidden class here. So let's just close the mobile menu and let's open this one. Let's remove this. Okay, so now we have this here, and right now it doesn't look too nice. So let's make sure that on mobile view this menu isn't displayed, but we won't use the hidden class here. We need to use some media query here. So let's use max width and 48 m. And let's just set this to display none. Okay, so now it's not displayed. Okay, let's just add a comment, hide desktop menu on mobile up to 48 m. But now this mobile menu is open by default. So let's go back here and here, let's add this hidden class. Okay, so the menu is not displayed by default. So later we will toggle this class with JavaScript. So when we click on this icon, this class will be removed and the menu will be displayed. But for now, let's worry about the desktop version of the navigation. So let's do the same, but now we have to use media query. We'll use the same size. Okay, so let's add a comment, show menu on desktop 48M and above. Okay, so right now we just need to target the header class, and basically all styles related to the desktop version of the menu will come here between this media query, inside this media query. Okay, so for the header, let's maybe we can just copy a few things from here. Just make this a little bit bigger. Okay, we actually don't need to add anything to the header right now. Okay, so we can use this header row here. We also don't need to display the mobile icon here. So just set this to display none. And it's not disappearing. Oh, yes, I need to use min width here, not max width. Okay, so here we need to target the header right as well. And within the header right, we need to target the main menu. And we need to set this to display flex. So now the main navigation items are in one row. Okay, so these are the submenus, if you remember. And we set this to block, and we set the drop down to position relative. Let's style the link texts here. We add an exception. Okay, but I don't want to add right margin to the last one, so here I just say not last child. Okay, again we are still targeting these main menu items here. Font size 13 pixel. Font weight 600. Let's add some line height. Let's change the color. Okay, we'll take care of these menu items here in a minute. Let's change the color of the active link. So it shouldn't change the color for all of them. Oh, I accidentally added the active class to all of them, so let me just remove it. Okay, so by default we don't want to display the drop-down menu, so we need to target the submenu wrapper. it's going to have a few rules. No, this should be left. Margin 0. So now we have the correct height for the navigation. Let's add the Z index. Let's add a min width 100%, line height 20 pixel, and finally display none. Okay, so now we have the desktop navigation, but we need to take care of the hover states of the menu and also the mega menu. Okay, so now let's do this drop-down menu here. So let's just add the comment. Okay, so we need to target this submenu wrapper when this list item is hovered. So to do that, let's just copy this. And let's just display it as block. So when we hover over it, it's displayed. So we need to add some style to this drop-down menu. I think we could, we can just take this one from here. We need to change the padding to 0. Okay, we need to add a background color. This should be white. Okay, we have the border top. We need to add a min width of 200 pixels. Okay, so here we add padding 0 and margin right 0. And let's style the submenu text, which is the link text. So let's add padding 8 pixel, display block, text transform none. Okay, so now it's taking shape. Color font size 14 pixel and font weight 400. Okay, so now it looks really nice. Okay, so I want to add some lines between the menu items, except the last one. So at the border bottom, 1 pixel solid. Okay, now the items are separated nicely. And the last thing we need to do here is to add a different background color for these menu items. So let's just copy this. And let's add a different background color. And it's working nicely. Let's do the mega menu. So now we have the normal drop-down menu. We still need to create the mega menu for the desktop version. So let's go back to the index.html file, and this is where we need to add the mega menu, and it's basically going to be the same as we have here. So basically we just need to close this And let's copy this part and just let's add it here. Okay, and now it's screwed up our navigation. But don't worry, we'll take care of this in a minute. Let me just copy this one. Actually, let's just add the comment. Menu styles. This should be position absolute. Left 0. Padding 20. Pixel 25. Pixel. Need a background color. Should be white. We need this border top. It's the same that we used here. Okay, we also need the box shadow. Of course, this needs to be 100% white, so it takes up the full width of the container, but obviously this shouldn't be displayed by default, so we set this to display none. Okay, so now we need to add the style, so this will appear when we hover over this menu item. Okay, so when we hover over this, we need to show the menu blocks or menu columns. So just like we did for the mobile menu, we will use grid. And the grid template columns, but now we don't want to display in 2 columns, we want to display the blocks in 4 columns. So we can use the repeat function. And if we hover over, now they are displayed. Okay, so all we need to do now is just to make sure these texts are looking okay. We need to get rid of the list styles and add some nice, well, basically we have to add the same styling as we added for this one, or almost the same. So let's copy this. Let's style the unordered list. So the list style is none. Now the menu item text. And finally, we just need to add a background color when we hover over these items. And basically we are done. Okay, one thing I want to add is when I hover over the drop-down menus and the mega menu, it just appears instantly. I want to add some animation to this. Let's see how we can do that. So basically what I want is when I hover over this navigation item, I want this whole mega menu to appear a little bit below and then come back to this final position slowly. For this, we need to create an animation. We can add it up here because we will use it on both desktop and mobile. So maybe just before the mobile styles. And let's call this slide in up. So first we need to add an animation name. And an animation duration. Maybe 0.6 seconds will be enough. Okay, now we need to add keyframes. So we need to tell CSS which animation we want to add these keyframes, and this is going to be the slide in up. Okay, so at 0%, I want to add transform, translate Y, 15%. Then at 100%, transform, translate Y, 0. So it's not going to work just yet because we need to add this class to the markup. Here, where do we add this? Here. Okay, let's see if it works. So we haven't added to the services yet, so it appears instantly. But the mega menu now has the animation. I think it's really cool. Okay, so if you want, you can just play around with these values and the duration. And we can create really cool animations like this. Okay, so let's add this also to the mobile menu. Or first, the normal drop-down. Okay, so now it works here as well. Actually, I'm not going to add this to the mobile menu because it's going to be different. Okay, let's see this. So now we have a really nice mega menu, and if we decrease the screen size, now we have the mobile menu, but it still doesn't work. So we need to use a little bit of JavaScript here. So we need to go to the script.js, and first we need to reference a few things. We need to grab this icon, and we need to grab the menu itself. So let's create a few variables. So use the getElementById method to reference the mobile button. And here is the mobile icon, and we added this hamburger icon ID to it. Next, and it's called mobile menu. If I am right, yes, this is the ID. Okay, and now we need to attach an event listener to the mobile button. And we'll listen to the click event. And what we want to, so right now the mobile menu isn't displayed because here we have this hidden class, which is basically a display none. So we need to remove this class when this icon is clicked. So to do that, let's just add a comment first. So to do that, it's really simple. We need the mobile menu, and we access the class list, and we use the toggle method, and we tell it to toggle the hidden class. And now it should work. And yes, it works. Okay, so I open it and close it. One thing we can do here, when I open it, we can change this icon. So maybe we could change it to an X across, so it would indicate that this is where we need to click to close the menu. And for that we need a new variable. Here we use the query selector. Okay, so here we store the font awesome icon in that variable. And in the same event listener, let's just add a comment. Okay, so here we just need to add a condition. So what happens when the menu is open, and what happens when it's not. So we could say that if mobile menu dot class list dot contains the hidden class, or rather, if it's not true, mobile menu icon class list remove, and let's just copy this and add, I believe the class of this icon is FAX mark. Else, we need an else statement, and actually let me just copy this so I don't type so much here, and we just changed it to X mark and FA bars. Okay, now it should work, and yes, it's working. So now it's changed to an X, and now it's back to the bars. Actually, the last thing we can do here is add an animation to this menu as well. Okay, so let's go back to styles, and here we have the slide in up. But here, well, we could use this as well, but let's change this a little bit. Let me just copy this whole thing and paste it here, and instead of up, it should be down here as well, and here as well. And for 0%, the translate Y, let's give it a negative 100%, and here we can leave it on 0. And remember, we need to add the class name to the HTML markup, and basically we need to add it here. Okay, let's see. Okay, now it comes from the top. Okay, so because we used negative 100%, it feels like it just slides down from outside of the browser. It's really, really nice. Okay, so basically that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something from it. If you have any question, leave a comment. And if you like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to receive notifications of new videos, just subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.